You good? No, you're not. You're not, baby, and it's okay. You're not good, and it's okay. You don't need to be good all the time. It's okay to not be good.
Love and hip hop is dying, and I can prove it.
Boy toy named Troy used to live in Detroit. Big dope dealing money.
What's going on, you guys? My name is Noel, and I wear the same hoodie in every single video. If this is your first time here, like, comment, and subscribe. This is my entertainment and commentary channel, and if you would like to follow me on social media, here it is. Alright, you clicked on the video, you saw the title, you know why you're here, so let's get into it. So, I started watching Love and Hip Hop in 2013 when I started high school. And honestly, that's when I started watching all of reality TV, like Bad Girls Club, Something Else, Black Ink Crew. Like, that's when I started watching all of reality TV. And Love and Hip Hop used to be that girl. Love and Hip Hop used to trend on Twitter. Like, I remember people used to like have full-on arguments about the show. There used to be threads. People used to like tweet about it for hours. And now I feel like Love and Hip Hop doesn't really have that influence, or not even influence, that impact it used to have. Like when I see people talk about Love and Hip Hop, they usually talk about like the older episodes and the older seasons, like the older moments for older seasons, because these current seasons aren't giving it. But why? Why is that? Let's talk about it. And before I start, I just want to say that Love and Hip Hop was probably at its best Season 3 of Atlanta. That was probably when it was at its best, when Jocelyn and Stevie J went and like fought everybody at the reunion and they got crazy and they had to get breaking up. Like I remember going to like a grocery store, like maybe Food Lion or something, and seeing it in a magazine. So like that's when it was at its best. I'll even give Love and Hip Hop, like when they started with Love and Hip Hop Hollywood the first season, it was great. But now it's like no. And one of the main reasons for this is the fake storylines. The fake storylines, like it's no secret that like reality TV is edited. Like it's edited, it's produced, heavily produced, but like now it's like shamelessly. Like Love and Hip Hop isn't even trying. Like I'm gonna use the Atlanta season, I think it's season 5, I could be wrong, when they introduced Sierra, Shooter, her husband at the time, Shooter, and her assistant Mariah. So if you haven't seen it, basically, Sierra's assistant is sleeping with her husband, and she finds out. And it's like, girl, like, first of all, if you're cheating on your wife and you don't want her to know, why would you agree to do a scene with your mistress on national television? That doesn't make sense. And then show yourself paying her money to keep quiet about your affair. Why would you do that? Does that make sense whatsoever? No. No. Or even better, when Sierra finds out that her husband is cheating on her and confronts him, she confronts him in some random parking lot, and then production gets on the phone and says, "Hey Mariah, they're talking about you, it's time for you to come." So then the mistress just magically appears in the middle of this parking lot with no distinct buildings or landmarks and hops out of her Uber pool to be part of the scene.
I'm ready to go.
Is you gonna listen? Is you gonna listen while
Oh, so you had sex with Shooter?
We before? That's what you saying?
this gonna come out anyway. You better watch your mouth.
No one does that in real life. It's like bad storylines that just don't make even if they make sense, are just stupid. Like things don't happen in real life. People meeting at undisclosed parking lots to like have beef is stupid. And then on top of the fake storylines, we have reused storylines, and I'm gonna list them. We have the we're getting engaged and our parents don't like each other storyline. We have the love triangle storyline. We have the manager or producer having sex with their female artist storyline. We have the baby mama and baby daddy trying to co-parent storyline. And then we have like the new artists start beefing for no reason storyline. Like it's really stupid because Love and Hip Hop has been on the air for so long. I think right now what we're seeing is Love and Hip Hop is in this era of been there, done that. Like we've seen it before already, and it's really off-putting. And then on top of the reused and bad storylines, a lot of the cast stay in like the blogs. And when I mean blogs, I'm talking about like urban blogs, like Shade Room. Like back when I used to follow them, I don't follow them anymore because I need my peace. Yeah, like the Love and Hip Hop stars used to always stay in the Shade Room. And obviously the Shade Room and the other blogs pick up on the drama when it happens. We're watching the show and we already know what's gonna happen because we've already seen it play out in the blogs months beforehand. So it's just like, why watch when you know what's gonna happen? Then to follow the reused storylines and the fake storylines, we have the storylines that we do not need, that we did not need. Case in point, Love and Hip Hop Miami. So season 1 of Love and Hip Hop Miami introduced Amara La Negra, who was a proud Afro-Latina, who's dark-skinned, beautiful, big afro, amazing, she's gorgeous, love her. And season 1, a big part of her storyline was the colorism, because she met with this producer called Young Hollywood, and he was very colorist towards her. Basically was insulting her look, saying that her afro needed to go, that she needed to change up her style because it was too African. I think he compared her to Macy Gray, as if that's an insult. So she had beef with him because he was very colorist and very rude, and she stood up for herself. And he basically like did not apologize. He basically doubled down on his ignorance and was like, you need to get over it. And then her friend Veronica Vega, who was also a female star, or a female artist. Lamar La Negra tells her friend Veronica Vega, like, hey, this producer was really colorist to me. He came from my look. He was very rude. It was very insensitive, yada, yada, yada. Veronica Vega then stabs her in the back by going and working with said producer who was colorist towards her. Now that's bad. Now if that wasn't bad enough, Love and Hip Hop decides that season 2 of Love and Hip Hop Miami, that these two colorist people need to have a redemption storyline. Also, Veronica Vega also got called out season 1 for saying the N-word because she's not black. Well, she claims that she's black and that her grandmother, her great-grandmother is black, and that she's African American and that she's black. Whatever. And you know what? I know black people come in all different shades, and while Veronica Vega doesn't have standard Afro-American or black features, there are people who are black who don't visually look black. And I don't want to get into this. I don't want to make it seem like if you don't visually look black that you have to prove your blackness and like post baby photos and family portraits everywhere so people believe you, but it was just very convenient. The way it played out was very convenient that she was like, I'm black now. And she went through the whole season fighting with Amara, fighting with Amara's friend JoJo. And like, I gotta watch that season again, but I remember she was going between saying that she was black, but then also saying that she grew up in the hood, but then also saying that she didn't say it from a malicious place, so it's okay that she says the N-word. It was just it was like, if you're gonna have an excuse, pick 1, not 5. So that was gross. But yeah, so that's that. And Mona Scott, or whoever the storyboard producers are, decided that season 2, these two colorist, borderline racist, needed to have a redemption storyline. Not to mention that, the end of season 1, at the reunion, Young Hollywood doubled down on his ignorance. And basically, he and Trick Daddy kind of insinuated the fact that Amara speaks Spanish and validates her blackness somehow. And that he also has black family members, so he can't be colorist. It was just gross. And basically, the whole second season, oh my gosh, I keep pausing. But the whole second season, because Veronica Vega and Young Hollywood got such a big backlash, as they should, because I'm pretty sure the majority of people who watch Love and Hip Hop are black, and the majority of the cast on Love and Hip Hop are black and African American, so obviously you're gonna get backlash. The storyline for Veronica Vega was that people are calling her racist, she's getting blackballed, people don't want to work with her and do business with her because she has the title of racist attached to her name because she said the N-word and she's had very racist moments, and that she chose to work with a known colorist. And we had to have a redemption storyline. We had to have a redemption storyline. Where we had to see her sit down with her family and cry about how hard life is that she got called a racist. How being called a racist ruined her life, and that it's Amara La Negra's fault, or whoever else's fault, whoever it is who called her out on her BS, it's their fault that she got called a racist. And that her being labeled a racist hurt her career. That was a storyline that Mona Scott or whoever, you know what, I don't know how Love and Hip Hop is run. I don't know what the behind the scenes are. I don't know who does what and picks what. But Mona Scott is a very smart businesswoman. And Love and Hip Hop has been on the air for over a decade. So I find it hard to believe that someone with that much control doesn't know what is going on in their show. Regardless if Mona Scott is on set at every scene or whatever, Love and Hip Hop is attached to her name, so I feel like she would know to an extent what is being put on TV, considering that it's a representation of her and her brand. Just want to put that out there. So maybe on the Sky or whatever, but someone decided that this is the storyline that we needed. And then on top of that, we get Veronica Vega at the reunion season 2, and people are siding for her. And I think Tiffany on this season was like, yeah, I know Veronica Vega, she's not a racist, and I know when she was saying that stuff, it was coming from a malicious place. I don't care. I don't care. I do not care. Do not redeem racist and colorist on my television screen. I do not care. I don't care for it. Don't want to see it. Don't want to hear it. Don't want to indulge it. I really just do not care. I don't care. I don't care. No one cares. I don't care. Don't do it. Don't. But that was just a bad storyline. Okay, but oh my gosh, I can go on a whole tangent about the Love and Hip Hop storylines that just don't make sense, but I'm not gonna do that right now. We're gonna move forward and move on. So then on top of the bad storylines, reused storylines, fake storylines, we have no music. No music. No music. No music. It seems like now with Love and Hip Hop that people don't care about making music. It seems now that people want to get a check. It seems like the majority of the cast now on Love and Hip Hop are comfortable just being on Love and Hip Hop every season. It's like, I'm not trying to make music. I'm not trying to grow my brand. I am not trying to be successful in my career. I just want to make sure that I do enough drama so that I get brought back on next season. That's what it seems like to me, and I am annoyed by that. Like, look back at the older seasons of Love and Hip Hop. Like, Love and Hip Hop New York, Season 3, Erica Mena. Erica Mena could not sing. Erica Mena cannot sing. But she was trying. She was trying to get into the studio. She was trying to release music. Olivia on Love and Hip Hop New York was trying to release music. Bianca, Love and Hip Hop New York, was trying to release music. You know, there were people who were actually trying to get in the studio and make music, and maybe some of the music they were making was bad or wasn't going anywhere, but they were trying. It just feels like now people want to get on the show, beef, get their 5 seconds of fame, throw a drink, throw a punch, so that they can say they're about their life, get their followers up, and then just stay on the show. Like, I feel like Love and Hip Hop should be about music and drama. Like, we can have drama, but if you're gonna have hip hop in the title of your show, it needs to have music in it. And it's like stupid stuff. Like right now in the current season of Love and Hip Hop Atlanta, Akbar V, who is a female rapper who's trying to get on, she is beefing with another female rapper known as Light Skin Keisha because Light Skin Keisha calls herself the Queen of Atlanta. Akbar V is not a well-known rapper. She is not on anybody's Billboard charts. But she wants to spend her time on this show beefing with another upcoming artist because she calls herself the Queen of Atlanta. Well, Nicki Minaj calls herself the Queen of Rap, so is Akbar V gonna beef with Nicki Minaj? Like, you can't, like, it is what it is. It's rap. People brag about themselves. People big themselves up. People, you know, gas themselves up. It's rap. You're supposed to come into rap thinking that you're the best. Nobody wants to hear a freestyle of someone saying, oh yeah, I'm not the best, but I ain't the worst. Like, nobody wants to hear that. Nobody wants to hear that. Artists get on the show and they beef with each other, and like, none of y'all are at that level. None of y'all are at the level where you should be beefing with one another. It doesn't make sense. Even more stupid drama. The fact that we have 40-year-old men, Peter Guns, Rich Dollars, and Cisco, who's grown men, whose storyline is being called the Creep Squad. The Creep Squad, a misogynistic group of men who pride themselves on playing women. Their achievement in life are playing the emotions and feelings of women. They call themselves the Creep Squad and take pride in the Creep Squad. They've had fights with each other over who is the creator of the Creep Squad, who is the leader of a Creep Squad.
You X'd out. I'm the new leader of the Creep Squad.
Who cares? The leader of a group of losers is a loser. I repeat, the leader of a group of losers is a loser.
Can I get a cheers today? Hold on, wait up. Creep Squad? Creep Squad?
A loser. Like, why? Why are these grown 40-year-old men arguing over who is the biggest creep? Why? Who cared? Who cared about that? I want to know who on the production team of Love and Hip Hop thought that we wanted to see who is the biggest creep out of these 40-year-old men. Who cares? Speaking of creeps, let's talk about Peter Guns. Let's talk about how the storyline between him and his baby mother and his wife, who was originally the side chick, went on for far too long. Far too long. Far too long. Like, it was sad. It went on for seasons of him, Tara, and Mena going back and forth, to the point where Tara and Mena were competing to see who would carry his last child. This man has like 7+ kids. And these two women are fighting on national TV to see who is gonna be the last person to have his last baby because he was getting a vasectomy. Thank God. Thank God. This man who has lied, embarrassed, and cheated on both of you. You're competing to see who gonna carry his last baby. It got to the point where Cardi B had to read him, and she was right. Cardi B was right. Listen, I love Cardi B. I think Cardi B is an amazing I think she's a good artist. But when Cardi B is making the most sense in the room, it is a problem. It is a huge problem. Big mistake. Big. Huge. The next thing I want to talk about is, we're going to talk about bad casting. Bad casting. And I'm going to list off a number of people who should not have been cast on the show. Mariah, Sierra's assistant, Treasure, Bobby Lights, Trina's assistant, Zell Swag, Mr. Ray. You know what? I actually like Mr. Ray. I actually like Mr. Ray. Paris, Peter Guns, and Rich Dollars. Cisco, the whole creep squad, X'd off of my screen. Get off. Get off of my screen. There are just certain people that did not need to be on the show. Treasure. What was the purpose of having her on Love and Hip Hop Atlanta? Other than for the other cast members to beat her up. What was the purpose? All she did the entire season was take up for mistresses. You know what? That's a conversation for another day. You know, I'm not saying there aren't women who are unknowingly the side person or the mistress. It happens. Men lie. Everyone lies. Men lie, women lie, they all lie. Everyone lies. But we did not need Treasure. We did not need Treasure being the voice for mistresses everywhere. We did not need her. We didn't need it. Nobody asked for this. And then the next thing I want to talk about is Love and Hip Hop and mental health. And I can maybe do a video on this, but I might do a video. I've been thinking about doing a video on mental health and reality TV, but maybe, depending on how this video does. We'll see how I'm feeling, we'll see. Love and Hip Hop has a really big problem showcasing people with issues as comedic effect. For example, Tommy Lee, Mama D, and to an extent, Moniece. To an extent. Although I really like Moniece, and Moniece has been very open about her mental health issues, yada yada yada. But it's a problem. I'm gonna tell you why. For instance, Tommy Lee, she makes great TV, but she's an alcoholic. The show has made it a point to say that she's an alcoholic. It got to the point where she was in a scene yelling and arguing and attempting to fight the crew of said reality TV show, and they had to remove her. They put up a black screen with text. They didn't even show her trying to fight the crew. And then they mandated her to go talk to a counselor about her drinking. That is a problem. Tommy Lee makes great TV. I'm not gonna sit there and lie that I was not entertained watching her on television, but it's a problem. She's an alcoholic, and she was in denial about being an alcoholic for a long time. And the problem is when you put that on TV and you not necessarily glorify it, but you don't condemn it, and you let it just continue to happen, it's a problem. There are people who are fans of Tommy Lee who see her drunk antics and encourage it, who think that she's about that life, or she's that girl. That's not okay. Like, she should have been removed from the show a long time ago. And Love and Hip Hop, they want views. They want views, so they're gonna keep her on. But like, exploiting somebody's alcoholism, someone's mental health is a problem. It's a problem, especially when they are irrational, irate, and they physically attack people, sometimes for no reason. That is a problem. Showing Mama D print out somebody's fake obituary is a problem. Showing Mama D wishing someone death is a problem. Consistently using Moniece Slaughter, who has been open about her mental health issues, for views is a problem, to the point where she went on Instagram and made a post begging the production of Love and Hip Hop Hollywood to release her from her contract. That is a problem. When you glorify people with issues and you give them a platform and you make it look funny or make it look okay, or you don't outright say, hey, we as a franchise do not condone this behavior, you allow people to encourage that. You allow people to support that. You give them fans who encourage that toxic behavior. It is a problem. That's not okay. That is not okay. And I'm not gonna sit here and lie and say that when I saw Mama D and Moniece and Tommy do things that were funny, that I didn't laugh, that I wasn't entertained, that I haven't went on YouTube and looked up Love and Hip Hop fights, Tommy Lee versus yada yada yada. I've done it. I'm gonna be honest about that. But looking at it in retrospect, that's very irresponsible. That's very irresponsible. Very irresponsible. Not okay. And the next thing I want to talk about is, this is like a quick little segment, but like fighting on Love and Hip Hop. I never want to get on this YouTube and say, oh yeah, they need to fight. No, I never want to say that a show needs to allow physical violence in order for it to be good. I don't want to say that. I don't want to endorse that. What I will say is, Love and Hip Hop, nobody, and I repeat, nobody wants to see two people meet up at a parking lot only to play peekaboo with security. No one cares. Nobody cares. I'd much rather you let them throw drinks at each other and then separate them in like 5 seconds. But having two people meet up at a parking lot and then talk mess and then fake play peekaboo behind security and run around and try to, oh, I'm gonna get you, oh, I'm gonna get you. No one wants to see that. Nobody wants to see that. I don't want to see it. I don't want to see it. Don't waste my time with this. Like every time they meet up at a parking lot and someone's like, oh yeah, I'm gonna run up right now. I don't want to see it. I don't want to see it. I don't want to see it. Keep it in the restaurant. Have them throw drinks. Like, you know, have them throw drinks. There are plenty of shows that don't have an abundance of violence. Like, you know, have like Housewives and Married to Medicine. They've had their physical altercations, but like it is very few and far between. Like if you just want to have them throw drinks, do that. But like nobody wants to see people play peekaboo in a parking lot with security. No one wants to do that. It's stupid. It's dumb. What are we doing? What are we doing? Like that fight in the park of Mariah Lynn and Dream Doll. That was really stupid and was edited. Edited. Go back and watch that fight. Because 1 second Mariah Lynn and Dream Doll are punching each other and swinging and with their heads to the side, and the next moment Mariah Lynn is jumping off of a table 5 feet away. It's very clear. Moni Slaughter has gone on Instagram Live and said that they shoot scenes multiple times. So it's not reality. But you can still do reality TV in a way where it looks You can still do reality TV in a way where it still looks somewhat real. Like, I'll give an example. For instance, if the storyline is that Shooter is sleeping with Mariah, the assistant, maybe don't give Mariah a confessional. Maybe make her anonymous. Maybe don't show her face, blur out her face, or give her a confessional later on in the season, at like the end, or like after it's discovered that she's having sex with Shooter. But if you give her a confessional at the beginning of the season, obviously it's gonna tell us that she's obviously on the show for some reason. She has some purpose, and we're gonna not be surprised that, oh, she's cheating with Shooter. Okay, so this video is running long, very long. So how can Love and Hip Hop fix its issues? I think Love and Hip Hop needs to revamp. I think they need to do an overhaul because Love and Hip Hop Atlanta not giving it for me. Love and Hip Hop Atlanta is the most interesting at the moment right now, but it's not doing it for me. Love and Hip Hop Hollywood last season, the Moniece and Fizz, nobody cared. It was over. We saw it play out in the blogs. It was tired. Love and Hip Hop New York has not had a good season in I don't know how long. And Miami, and Love and Hip Hop Miami is kinda, it's okay. Love and Hip Hop Miami and Atlanta are the best of the franchise, and even they are not doing it for me like they used to. And maybe that's just my personal thing. Maybe I am just personally outgrowing Love and Hip Hop as a franchise, but I just feel things that I want to talk about. And like a lot of the people on Love and Hip Hop I'll use Love and Hip Hop New York as an example. I don't want to sit and watch 18 episodes of people in their 30s talking about, are you my friend? Like I don't care about 30-year-old people trying to maintain a friendship. Now does that mean I want Love and Hip Hop to get a bunch of random 20-year-olds and throw them on the screen? No. But revamp the show. Make music more of a forefront. And you know, have drama, do it. Don't do the parking lot peekaboo security thing. You know, listen, maybe let them get their swings in for like the first 10-15 seconds and then break it up. Do that. But like, don't bring them to a parking lot and have them hide behind security and pretend like, oh, I would've got you, girl. I don't care. Don't care. Get people on the show, upcoming artists who have a following on social media, who are trying to build themselves up. Do that. First, people are gonna be like, I don't know who those people are. Who are they? They're nobodies. But I mean, be honest. Did you know who Jocelyn Hernandez was before the show? Did you guys know who Mimi Fonts was before the show? Aside if you were a Stevie J fan? No. These are people that we came to love. So getting a brand new cast, like have people perform at the reunions again. They used to do that. They don't do that no more. Like I don't want it to be a reunion where they're like, oh yeah, so this season you're working on an album. And then move on. But I'm tired of people getting on the show just to be on the show. Why is a show that is called Love and Hip Hop, why am I focusing on a nail salon owner? Why am I focusing on boutique owners? Nail techs? Why am I focusing on the assistant of a nail salon owner on a show called Love and Hip Hop? Questions that need answers. Alright, I'm done ranting. That was a big rant, but that's how I feel. That was a big rant, big rant. Once again, like, comment, and subscribe. Hit that bell notification so that you get notified when I upload new videos. And with that being said, I will see you in the next video. Bam, bam.
Boy toy named Troy used to live in Detroit. Big dope dealing money, he was getting some coins. Wasn't shootouts with the law, but he lived in a